Sliding into this week's journal just because I'm trying to be cool. Today is the 22nd of March 2024. Last journal, I totally got the year wrong, and then I had about 1,000 people tell me on all platforms I got the date wrong. Thank you. In this particular journal, I want to talk to you all about dreams. I was going for a walk with a friend on the weekend, and we got talking about dreaming. And it's interesting because there's a cost to dreaming that I think people don't talk about. And the kind of dreaming I mean is not when you go to bed and you dream about scary things that happen to you, like the dream I had last night where I jumped into the air and then I just didn't land. I just kept going up and up and up and up, and I freaked out and I woke up in a pool of sweat. Not that kind of dream. What I'm talking about is the kind of dream where you have these hairy, audacious goals that you dream up about. Oh, I'm dreaming about a life where I can do X, Y, or Z. Those kind of dreams. That's the dreams I'm talking about. Now, when you get the courage to dream up one of these dreams, what tends to happen is there's something that stops us from trying to reach for those dreams. And it stops all of us. And that thing that stops us, if we don't talk about it, it's going to continue to stop you from even giving yourself permission to dream. And that one thing is this. Vinh, if I dream this life, what if I don't achieve it? What if I fail? And that's a valid point. It truly is. Think about how painful it would be if you started dreaming up this life of how beautiful life can be, and then you never achieve it. It's true. That does cause a lot of pain. Even thinking about it causes a lot of pain. I get it because I've been there, and I've stopped myself for years from dreaming because of this very cost. It's true. The cost of you dreaming is you may never achieve the dream you're actually chasing. But there's this beautiful quote that I'm sure you've heard before, and the quote is, "Better to have loved and lost than to have never loved at all." It's true, right? Would you rather go through this life never loving anyone because you're scared to lose people? That means you go through this life not knowing what love is. And it reminds me of this poem that I want to read you. And I'm going to read it to you. So the poem that I have here is titled Risk. And the title is called Risk and is written by William Arthur Ward. If you don't mind, I'd love to read it to you. Feel free to close your eyes while you listen to this. I think it just makes the impact that much more. It creates that much more impact. Close your eyes. Okay, here we go. Risk. To laugh is to risk appearing a fool. To weep is to risk appearing sentimental. To reach out to another is to risk involvement. To expose feelings is to risk exposing your true self. To place your ideas and dreams before a crowd is to risk their loss. To love is to risk not being loved in return. To hope is to risk despair. To try is to risk failure. But risks must be taken because the greatest hazard in life is to risk nothing at all. The person who risks nothing, does nothing, has nothing, is nothing. He or she may avoid suffering and sorrow, but he or she cannot learn, feel, change, grow, or live. Chained by his or her servitude, he or she is a slave who has forfeited all freedom. Only a person who risks is free. I love this poem. This is a poem that I often go to when I'm scared to share my ideas, where I get scared to dream, where I become scared to love. I read this poem to remind myself that in this life we can just exist or we can live. And to live requires risk. And I wanted to make this journal entry because I am thinking a lot about my son Xander and my daughter Melody. And one day you might find these videos in the future where the robots have taken over, and you may find this somewhere. And I just want to remind you both, and anybody else that's listening, and it's that it's worth the risk to dream up the life you desire. It's worth it. Heck, I think that's part of the reason why we're all here, is to dream. And you're right. There's a chance you'll never achieve those dreams. It's true. That is a valid cost. The price of entry. But as a wise fellow once said, we call him 50 Cent in the world that I'm in right now. And 50 Cent has this brilliant line where he says, "I'm going to get rich or die trying." I'll remix that a little bit. My version of that is, I'm going to continue to dream, and I'm going to die trying to achieve those dreams. I hope you will too.